Why your product isn't selling. Do you have a product and it's not working? If you're like a lot of people, you blame the customer. I used to do the same thing, and that is not correct. In this video, I'm going to show you how to analyze your product so that you can upgrade it and make the offer actually attractive for your buyer. Let's dive in. All right, when I finally decided and owned the fact that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, one of the first business attempts I tried was actually in real estate, and I put out all these signs all across the street, and I got 300 people to call me in a month. And I started putting together all of these different contracts, and I ended up getting 5 contracts on residential properties and 2 on commercial. And I was like, man, I got a Made in the Shade. This is gonna be so cool. Well, the problem was I couldn't sell it. I never figured out how to sell the other side of the contract. So while I had the contract, I couldn't flip it. I couldn't flip the property. And so I didn't make any money. And I got to tell you that for probably 2 or 3 years after that, it was very painful. It stung a lot. My pride was very hurt. I went very hard on this idea. And you might have been in the same situation where you have an idea that you would spend all in on, and it didn't work. And I used to turn back around and blame the market. I'd be like, that market just sucks. Dang it, that market just doesn't want to buy. It was in a college town. Real estate sells like crazy in college towns. That was what I was stuck on because I had nothing else to blame. I had no other reason or excuse for why it didn't work. I didn't know why it didn't work. And so I'd just be like, I don't know. I followed the process that I was taught. I was like, why didn't this work? And so what I want to give you here is not a way out, a way to analyze, a way to audit what is it you've created. Because the biggest mistake you can make here is to think that your product was the reason you didn't sell. I'm going to teach you in here the 3-step process you can use to audit your product so you actually know what's wrong and you can go fix it. Now let's dive in. All right, step number 1 to audit your product and figure out what's actually wrong is I need you to think like a garden hose. Okay, super weird for me to say that. Stick with me. I'm going to show you what I mean by this. When Russell was launching his first version of the Expert Secrets book, he and I started that funnel probably 2 days before the launch, which is psycho. Don't do that. And we just stayed up all night. It was more caffeine I've had in my entire life. And we pounded this funnel out. So we got the funnel out the door. Well, the day after the launch, he and I got on a plane and we flew to this cabin where we sat down with script writers for the next 3 days, and they helped write a viral video script. Okay, when the viral video script writers were not in the room with us, we started looking at the stats of this funnel. And this is like a big release, right? Like Expert Secrets book, right? This thing should make $1 million pretty quick, which eventually it ended up doing that. But what happened really though is we started looking at the funnel, we started looking at all the stats, and we're like, okay, how's the conversion rate on page 1? Okay, not bad. Okay, yeah, sweet. Okay, not bad. How's the conversion rate on the first upsell? It's a little low, but it's acceptable though. How's the conversion rate on the second upsell? Oh, that sucks. It was so bad. And so what we did is throughout the night, we actually took a camera out, went to the backyard of the cabin we were in, and reshot an upsell video. And we changed the entire page, all the stuff overnight when we thought the traffic would be the lowest because we're doing it to the live funnel. Now, what we did not do is, this is what I mean by garden hose, okay? We did not analyze it from the back to the front. One of the biggest mistakes people make when they're analyzing their product sales and why something worked or didn't is they just start looking at all the stats all together. Don't do that, okay? What you want to do is you want to analyze your funnel and analyze your product sale in the order that the customer also experiences it. So why would you change an upsell if your ad doesn't work all the way at the front? Does that make sense? So what we do is we look at the ad and we're like, how'd the ad go? Oh, that ad was terrible. I'm not going to change anything in the funnel if the ad was bad. We didn't even get enough traffic to the funnel to make it statistically significant. You see what I'm saying? So what we do is we analyze the ad and then we're like, okay, the ad was good enough. Let's go to the next step. Single next step. Okay, let's look. Oh, this opt-in page right here. You know, that opt-in page is a little bit low. Let's go change it. Which means don't look at the rest of your thing. Does this make sense? What I've found is that people will often go change a ton of stuff at once, so they actually don't know what worked. It's too many variables at once. You want to change and you want to analyze one thing at a time, one variable at a time, and you do it in the order. That's why they call it the garden hose, okay? Think of how water flows in one direction. I'm like, man, there's a kink right here and a kink right here and a kink right here. Don't touch all 3. You just do the first one and then maybe that fixes the other two, right? And then you're like, okay, now let me fix that one. Okay, do not fix all of them at once. Now, when you're looking at your funnel, what you're actually looking at is conversion rates for the most part. You're looking at to see, hey, you know what? This page should convert around 30 to 50%, if it's something cheap or free. And like, oh, you know what? This should convert here. This should convert here. And if you're thinking like, hey, Steven, that's cool, but like, I don't know what the industry standards are on all these pages. That's totally fine. What I would do if I was you is I would go and I would just start asking. And it's not actually that hard to find what industry standard rates are. I bring this up because there was a guy that I had recently go in and start putting together some ads for us. And he was like, great news. This page is converting at 2%. I'm going to tell you right now, this is garbage. That is awful. That is one of the worst. It's like, this is great news. I'm like, industry standard is like 50%, man. Like that's actually really bad. And he's like, I had no idea. So just get to know what it is in your industry that each of these pages should probably be converting at, and just set that as the bar. Don't go for 100%, that never happens, okay? But just set that as the bar, and that's what you're trying to go and get good enough at. Like if I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make a free plus shipping book funnel, right? I'm gonna look for conversion rates on upsells in a very specific range, not 100%, not 50%. And that will help a lot, because what I've noticed too is that if your product is not awesome and it's not working and your pride's at stake, it's pretty easy to get product envy and funnel envy and look at other people, and we start the comparison game. Fastest way to kill yourself right there. Do not compare yourself at all. But you should go see what other people are actually converting at. The second step of your audit, if your thing's not selling very well, just totally cool, we've all been there, you have to audit your positioning. It's called positioning, okay? And what you need to do is create stronger positioning. I was mowing the lawn once and I was like, tell me in the comments. I'd love to know in the comments if you've ever had this experience. I was listening to these other people present, and I was watching some of these people, and I was like, I'm better than that person skill set wise. Why do they make more than me? Have you ever noticed somebody who makes more than you but is worse than you? That's not a dig. I'm not here to say like, oh, we got to throw rocks at those people. But we've all noticed that, right? Or we've seen that someone will make more money than we are, but we're literally better than them at the skill set. Why does that happen? What causes that? Positioning is actually the answer. Positioning is greater than talent. I got to tell you, my company has grown more in the last year due to stronger positioning than me getting better at the thing that we do. Okay, and it comes down to this positioning piece. Now, so what is it? Positioning is literally how people fit you into what they already know. So if you think about how ClickFunnels actually became successful, I bring that example up. I know I talk about them a lot on this channel. It's just because most of us know who they are. And so just as an example, think about this. ClickFunnels was almost an abandoned project until he increased his positioning. And this is really what he did. They were on their 6th sales attempt. They almost abandoned the project altogether. And it wasn't until he's invited to come sell it one last time. And on the flight over, he's making the final tweaks and adjustments to the script. And what he did is, so it's a sales funnel software, right? Sales funnel building service. What he did is he decided that he would become the anti-website. Okay, the anti-website is what sold ClickFunnels. The anti-website is what made ClickFunnels. Okay, does this make sense? So what he did is he got on stage and he said, hey, we are here to show you the death of the website. Here's the website stats that are common amongst most industries. Here's the conversion rates. But what I want to show you over here, though, is the anti-website. We're going to build what's called a sales funnel. And look how much higher these conversion rates are. And now, when he says that messaging, the death of the website, to the website market, who does that attract? Attracts people who are frustrated with their website. So and pulls forward their dream customer. Most products lack good positioning. You need to create stronger positioning. And one of the easiest ways to do this is for you to sit back and actually start writing down what you are for principle-wise. Like what are the principles that I am for? What are the principles that I'm against? What are the things that my product supports and is for and fights for? And what are the things my product is totally against? For me, you all know I call myself the capitalist pig. I am vehemently against socialism. I am vehemently against a free handout, and I don't think money's evil. It just accelerates who we are as real people. All right, there's nothing wrong with getting rich. What matters is what you do with it. And so that's some strong positioning, right? You look at my shirt. I'm not wearing it right now, but the capitalist pig shirt that I wear, in an instant, People can look at that, create a snap judgment, and decide if they are with me or against me. I'm trying to do that. That's on purpose. Because most products can't do that, they cannot look at you and say, I immediately am for this product or I'm immediately against that product. And it's one of the biggest reasons people don't buy from you. Okay, when people look at my products, my flagship product right now is called Internet Launch Secrets. When they look at it, right, they either know what the internet is or they don't. They either know what launches are or they don't. They know what secrets are or they don't. And they're making snap judgments on the title of the thing. And some are saying, I'm all the way in or I am all the way for, right? Or I'm all the way against. You need to create that with your product. And so figure out what it is that your product stands for and stands against. And actually that is the marketing that you should return to market with. What you believe. And especially in this age now, where that really is very, very effective, most products are missing that type of messaging. Before I show you the third thing to audit inside of your sales process, subscribe. I would love for you guys to subscribe. We're gonna send videos to you 5 days of the week, every week. And we continue to do that. If you're liking the stuff, hit the bell because we'll actually notify you. YouTube will notify you when we put a new video out. Usually it's in the morning in the mountain time. It's in the morning and they get put out, again, 5 days a week. So in the comments down below, let me know, what is the funniest, silliest reason you didn't make a sale? For me, I gotta say, I built this huge pressure up, all this stuff, and then I left the funnel in test mode. So no one could buy. So dumb. Let me know down below the biggest reason why you did not make a sale. Okay, the third product audit that you have to make is stop selling products. Products are the hardest things to sell. I don't sell products, I sell offers, and there is a huge difference. So I'm gonna read you guys this quote. It's from the late, great Claude Hopkins, and he's teaching the difference between a product and an offer. He lived in the 1800s, very famous, big, rich marketer, and this is a big key piece to understand because I need you to stop selling products. Okay, listen to the quote. He says, 2 men came to me, each offering a different horse. Both made equal claims. They were good horses, kind and gentle, a child could drive them. One man said, try the horse for a week. If my claims are not true, come back for your money. The other man also said, try the horse for a week, but then he added, come and pay me then. I naturally bought the second man's horse. So let's think about this for a second. Same product, horse, okay? Different offer. One man's offer said, hey, you know what? Come and pay me. And basically it's a 7-day money-back guarantee, okay? 7-day money-back guarantee on this horse. And if you don't love the horse, come back in a week and I'll give you your money back. The other guy says, well, I'll give you basically the exact same horse, but don't pay me until the week is up. It's basically a 7-day trial. So one guy said 7-day guarantee. The other one said 7-day trial. I naturally took the 7-day trial. Same product, different offer. Okay, what I need you to understand about offer creation, I have an entire event on this topic. Okay, this is a huge topic. But you need to understand that turning a product into an offer is nothing more than finding ways to make your product more useful. Okay, that's all value is. So you're adding value to your product. If you want to increase the sales of your thing, stop just selling your product. You turn your product into an offer by adding usefulness. So ask yourself the question, how can I make my product more useful? And if my product is more useful, I turn my product into an offer and I immediately am more interesting, more valuable than all the rest of my competition. My competition doesn't even exist anymore in the eyes of the consumer. Like, why would I even go? Just like Claude Hopkins, I naturally took the second man's horse. It's obvious. Why would I not go for Steve Larsen's product versus the other guy? I get all this other stuff with it. Okay, so turn your product into an offer. It's one of the greatest ways for you to increase your sales, and it's the first place to go where you really can increase what you're providing to the marketplace, which is maybe why your thing didn't sell. I got a free gift here for you. I want you to go to yourfinaloffer.com. I asked 30 successful internet marketers what their final offer would be if for some crazy situation in their life they could only launch a single last offer and it had to fund the rest of their life. What would they do? That's really intense. You can actually watch the whole thing for free. It's a summit. It's a 3-day summit. Totally free. Go to yourfinaloffer.com and you'll have access for a 72-hour period. And I'll put the link in the description. I know you'll love it.